Good day, my name is Otsile Mogale, class of 2006 at St. David's. The biggest thing for me with regards to Black Lives Matter in a general context and more so in the schooling context, for me was the lack of protection that we as pupils of color got or didn't actually receive. The lack of protection at our schools when it came to issues of racial inequality and racial slurs that happened on a daily basis. From the first time I was called the K word in grade 3 up until I matriculated, there was never a month that we didn't go without hearing racial slurs or without hearing or encountering microaggressions towards us. And I think there is just cause for our schools to start taking racial inequality seriously, and also making sure that they create an environment that is conducive to change with regards to protection of pupils of color, is conducive to change with regards to protection of pupils of color, and two, punishment of those kind of behaviors, be it racial slurs or even homophobic slurs, but make it a very conducive environment for pupils to actually voice their opinion. Because too many times in my days, we heard, we were called by racial slurs, or schools that we went to play sports against, we heard our fellow pupils using racial slurs, and the environment was not there for us to speak up, because if you spoke up or you reacted in a violent manner, we would get the harsher punishment doled on us for being reactive towards that. And people who were racist just got by with a slap on the wrist, please don't ever do that again kind of treatment, and that wouldn't do much good anyways, because that person will stop using racial slurs, but the next person would. So yeah, I think it's very, very important that an environment like that is created, and it starts with the leadership and it starts with the teachers. If pupils felt that their teachers were not going to tolerate that kind of behavior and those kind of things in their class, teachers are giving slaps on the wrists and leadership is giving slaps on the wrist, then it will be okay for that to happen outside, because pupils who are racist will feel that they won't be punished because the school doesn't care about things like racism. And I think that is a mentality that we definitely need to change within our schools, taking racial inequality and racism very seriously, because more often than not in private schools, Black people are in a minority, and over and above that complex, you don't have, and you don't feel that you are able to voice your opinion, because either with those stereotypes, either you're on scholarship or you're on bursary, and if you are reactive or whatever, you're either labeled someone with a chip on their shoulder, or your bursary or your scholarship could be taken away from you. And our parents also used to tell us, just go there, put your head down and study, and leave the rest of the things behind, leave the rest of the things out, and ignore those things. And more often the things that we had to ignore was racism, and racism doled out towards us. And it isn't fair to ask someone for 13 years to just put their head down and just ignore people using racial slurs at you, the ones that you understood and the ones that they thought you didn't understand, but you actually did. Thank you very much.